Hey guys, position of the week, start to talk about the side control escape. I start to equalize this in separated in 4 squares. I start to explain for you how to work these squares. So look, I start to think about this here and I put my body and his body like a cross here. And the guy have exactly square number 1, square number 2, square number 3, and square number 4. I start to separate these ways for the guys understand a little bit this. So in the square number 1 here, I like to think like my head, it's here. And when I put my both hands in the square number 1 here, the guys start to see when use this, you know. So let me talking here about the squares. So in this line, I lay down here, and the guy starts in this line like a cross. He's in side control here. So have some positions you can move the lapel or to side control escape. To be honest, you have 1,000 ways to side control escape, but I try to explain a little bit more and separate a little bit more if you this make easier for you understand, okay? So I start to work with my arms together. So for he do not collapse and cross the line to my body here, I start to stop him and I put my frame in here. So look how I work in this way here, you know. So when I work in this way here, I think I always talking to my students, you have like a basketball in your hands here to do not collapse this area here. You start to put pressure, and I hold this him here. So when I start to feel this, I start to use my sidewinder. Stop a little bit here. Let me show you what I mean sidewinder. So sidewinder is one movement like when you use your legs like a pendulum as farther as you can to make your pendulum longer and stronger. So if your pendulum pass here short, you weak. If your pendulum pass far away, is stronger. So I put my longer pendulum to make my movement stronger. If I make this short, my body is weak. So come back to the position. I start to put my frames and my hands together here. So look where I put this. I will pull his head down when I make my movement. So the goal is put my legs in north-south like a upside down with him. So I hold him here like a framing and start to use my sidewinder here to escape. So if you can stay close him here a little bit more, I will pull him down and start like a pick out in between his body and his arms. So again, look my body, do not collapse here, and I make my sidewinder and enter like this to come back. This is in position number 2. So when you start to use the position number 3, he start to collapse, and I make the transition for the number 3. So first square here, second square here, third square here. I do not push him up. I push him in this way here, and I start to have a way to go my sidewinder here or here. When you use one, when you use the other, depend. You need to feel the fight here, but you move him away and you have the sidewinder, or the other side, sidewinder. The both sides here. If you come on top, if you go there, now it's with you. So the different ways here to do this, but come back to the number 2 here. You hold the guy, collapse, transition, and start to go to come back to. So in this way, you here to number 2, the guy collapse. Number 3, he flip his body like sideways here. I put my framing on his hip here and hit again to make this. When you have this option, I have top collar and bottom collar. I grab the bottom collar, not in his neck, not in his body. I put his bottom collar on his face. The same time I have my framing here and pushing his face, I start to hip escape, put my knee on my connections and my other knee, his armpit. When I have this, I hold and I move him here. You know, so, and I start to put him already in front of me. Again, I start to make my grips to fight. So, the only square I don't talk yet is about number 1. Why? Back. So, look at my hands. The guy start to pass my guard and come here, and I start to trouble. I put my arms in number 2. If I put, volta pouquinho, my arms in number 1 here, I start to give to him my back. When you use number 1, when you totally in desperate, you know, it's a trouble for you here, you don't have nothing to do more, you start to push him away here to escape, start to give your, so it's desperate. You don't have other options. So, in that 4 squares, never put your hands in number 1. You start to understand your movements like a number 2, number 3, and when he move his body, number 4 here. Hope this can help you about the side control escape. One drilling to help you here, you have a good partner and the partner start to pass the guard like here, start to come, you start to block him here, start to put your arms in number 2, he collapse his body, start to number 3, he move his body, start to number 4. When you hip escape here, make your leg heavy to do this here and open here. Look at how he change the side now. He passed my guard here. You start to block him and go to the number 2, collapse in number 3, collapse number 4, and look, when my knee enter here, I move to the other side again, start to be the other side to pass, and here we go, here we go, here we go. You can do 2. 1 time defense number 2, 1 time defense number 3, 1 time defense number 4, and you start to create your class the way that you want. Thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoy.